we were both kind of in a tough spot, like both professionally and personally. I mean, we were kind of just like backs against the wall. We're like, man, what are we gonna do? And it was,
I wish it was the pizzeria.
oh man, that would have been so nice. We wouldn't have to travel as much. But no, it was we were both in a tough spot, and I mean, we kind of just it was like it felt like at the time an impulse decision because we were like, dude, let's just start a business. I was like, well, what are we gonna do?
Welcome to Auto Talk with TZ Consulting. I'm Brandon Zimbron.
And I'm Caleb Treadway.
This is our very first episode, and we want to take a moment here first to thank the guys that make this all possible, Vision Studio. These guys are amazing, really. I mean, to make this all possible, it's a miracle for us.
Yeah.
So I'll let Caleb introduce himself a little bit. That way you guys get to know us, and then we'll get into what TZ Consulting is.
So, yeah, I'm Caleb, like I said earlier, co-owner of TZ Consulting. And my little bit about me, I went to Indiana Wesleyan University. I'm from Kokomo. I majored in finance and business administration. After college, I used that financial degree. And now I'm using my business admin degree with a little bit of finance here and there. But yeah, throughout this business, I've learned a lot from Brandon. Hopefully he's learning something from me too. I like to think it's like I have a give and take, but yeah, so that's just a little bit about me. We'll get more into that, but Brandon.
I'm Brandon Zimbron. I have spent my life in the automotive industry since 2014. My family owns a dealership still to this day, and I love it. I've continued to do it. That's why I have a passion for the auto industry. It's just all I know, and now I'm doing consulting to help people, grow their businesses. I'm here for the businesses, and I can, want to get into why we started TZ Consulting. And I think that's, one of the biggest things here. Why are we doing this? Why is a podcast a thing? Why is TZ Consulting a company? So really, TZ Consulting was started to benefit dealerships. Not really the dealerships per se, the people. I mean,
Yeah.
I was a dealership owner. My family are dealership owners.
And you know firsthand how stressful it can be.
How stressful it can be. I mean, definitely. I mean, I think anybody that is in any kind of business or has responsibilities knows how stressful anything can be.
Yeah, and I mean, in a general statement, what we want to do is take the stress off of their shoulders, if possible.
We've been through the hardships of, finance or, running the dealership or learning what the profits, where the profits are, or just really anything within the business. I mean, legal troubles. I mean, I've been audited many, many times in my career, and I know how expensive those fines can get. So really, we came to one conclusion while being in the auto industry. I have a lot of auto friends, a lot of dealer friends. No one comes and tells you how to run your business or helps you run your business. Like no one's in here telling you, I work with this bank or I work with this person. You're just kind of out there. You say, I want to sell cars. You start off Facebook Marketplace, and then next thing you know, you're have a dealer's license because you reached your legal limit, and you have no idea that a bank could pay you money. And
we always try to make an emphasis when we're pitching a dealership for the first time. We're not trying to tell you what to do. We have these solutions and these different, basically just ideas that we've gotten through trial and error. And I mean, basically show them how they benefit from it. And if they're that curious, ultimately how we benefit from it as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, we've gone through a lot of pitches. We've gone through a lot of ups and downs in our company. And I mean, recently we switched our business model, and I think we've found it. I think we've realized what really works for the business. It took 3 months to figure it out.
Yeah,
glad that we are where we are at now, and now we're we realized that we want to put our voice out there and help people in everywhere, not just in our location, in our geographical location. We want to be able to help people in Texas, California, Florida, wherever that may be, whether it's through our company or whether it's just through this podcast,
Yeah, and I mean, we like I said, through trial and error of our own business, we find out what works. I mean, when we were first starting out, going door to door to these dealerships, I mean, we heard responses from, "I love your guys's concept, but I just don't have the money," all the way down to, "I don't care if I sell cars. I just hope I don't die."
Remember when we first started and we had such bad experiences with old people. We just got scared to go into old people.
It's like now we've completely changed our business model, and it's like now like old people might want to do business with us or at least hear us out, but we're so traumatized from our experience when we started. We're like, oh no, man, it's a little tough, but no, I mean, like Brandon said, this new business model we started out with, or that we've implemented now, has just been really, we've almost instantly we saw results.
So,
and these were people who turned us down with our old business model, and now it's a lot easier.
Well, we keep talking about the model, but I don't think they know what the model is.
Yeah.
So we'll go into the old business model. That way you guys have insight on how we used to work. That way we save the good stuff for after.
Yeah. But maybe we'll talk about a little bit about how we, just our story and how we got to TZ Consulting.
However.
Yeah. I mean, so I'll give you guys a little background. So I guess Brandon and I, we met in 7th grade orientation, introduced by a mutual friend. One that I had known since 1st grade, and you since you were at elementary, 6th grade, yeah. And I mean, right then and there, man, we just clicked. I mean, two guys who just laugh at stupid stuff. I mean, you'd be surprised what can bring friends together, but that's what happened. And we stayed friends, and my goodness, we have too many stories in between then. But this business is not the first time Brandon and I have worked together. We were in projects together in middle school and high school, and we are what you call masters at procrastinating.
This is our most expensive project.
Yeah. So maybe we don't procrastinate as much, but sometimes, I like to think we still got it.
I think we got it.
We got it.
We're still out here.
Yeah, no, we still here. And so basically, we got into this specific business because Brandon and I were both at a point. I mean, this was after I graduated, and you were done with college as well. And Brandon had started his own dealership.
I didn't graduate.
I know, but you were done with college. That's why I was being specific. So Brandon, he starts his own dealership, had been in the auto industry for so long. And so you're out there doing your own thing. I hadn't graduated from college yet. And so once I did, I worked for a financial firm. Things were going well at first, but you hit that slump, and I, was in a little bit of a rough patch. I was struggling, and come to find out, by the time I was when I almost came to an end with that job, Brandon, you were almost shutting down your dealership, or you were in the process.
Got burnt out, man. It's expensive. Having a dealership is one of the most expensive things, it's a pretty expensive business, because I mean, you're spending thousands to repair it, thousands to buy them, thousands in marketing. It's just thousands. It's not hundreds or $5. Here it's thousands on thousands. I think that I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in the auto industry, and I think I just needed to figure out what it was. And
yeah, and
I mean, you could talk about how this really came to be.
Well, I think
I closed the dealership, and
yeah, and we were both kind of in a tough spot, like both professionally and personally. I mean, we were kind of just like backs against the wall. We're like, man, what are we gonna do? And it was.
I wish it was the pizzeria.
Oh man, that would have been so nice. We wouldn't have to travel as much. But no, it was, we were both in a tough spot, and I mean, we kind of just it was like, it felt like at the time an impulse decision, because we were like, dude, let's just start a business. It's like, well, what are we gonna do? And then we threw all these. We threw a restaurant idea. We threw out. I mean, I don't even know what else we threw out there.
Oh, I don't even remember.
We
I just know that
we were just talking out loud. It wasn't even serious. Suggestions at that point. But we had an old teacher from high school. He has a consulting business
in agriculture.
in agriculture. If you look at Brandon and I in person, you would know that's not at all a field that we know much about. I don't even think we could properly take care of a plant.
Soil to me is just dirt.
Yeah. So, we were just like, well, why can't we can be consultants? I mean, but that's so broad. We got to be consultants for a specific industry. And, Brandon, he's the expert when it comes to automobile industry because, I mean, he's been doing it since what, you're 12? Probably before then. 12. I mean, 12 was probably when your dad was actually working you. But before that, it was... So Brandon has this vast knowledge, and then, like I said...
It tied in well with his knowledge in the finance industry.
And
because, I mean, how are you going to get paid? How is that car going to sell if this guy doesn't have cash? We need connections with these vast lenders and obviously managing money, managing credit situations, helping dealers understand that because not dealerships don't know how to educate people.
No, yeah. And I guess it's just...
And I can't say all dealerships, obviously, but most of them is just because they don't even know themselves. They just think that they can sell cars, and
yeah,
it's not always the case. And they come to find that out 2-3 years down the road,
Yeah, so we got that started, and we're like, all right, let's do it. Let's pull the trigger. And I think once we finally paid like rent for our office, we're like, okay, we have to go through this with this. It
just happened. We just found that office on Facebook Marketplace, and
he just found it. I was like,
it was meant to be.
It was meant to be. We love it, and from then on, we were kind of trying to establish how we would work with our business model, where it would go, and it was
really a struggle. I mean, we had all these broad ideas pertaining to the dealership. I mean, we had marketing, and we can control social media, and we can help you connect you with this and that. And once we got into it, it was like, okay, it's a lot. And, and
we were overwhelming ourselves with all this work. And it's not that we couldn't do it, but I was like, wow, I mean, we got humbled early on.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah, we got humbled early on, and that, I mean, we are best friends, and a lot of people think you shouldn't go into business with your friends, but
they don't say anything about their best.
But they don't say anything about their best friends, and there have been times it has not been easy by any means. We have actually we have gotten into a couple arguments. It wasn't like anything crazy, but
you're gonna have that in business.
But you're gonna have that in business. I actually think, for how long we've been in business and how we've been able to change so much, I thought we've been able to keep our cool pretty well. And a big part of that,
we've been through a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah, we have.
Like this whole business model change. I mean,
yeah.
I'll get into it a little bit. Like now that we're at that, like our business model, like what our business model used to be. We, like I mentioned earlier, we thought we could sell them on helping them connect with lenders, vendors, everything. We thought we had everything, and there was going to be a cakewalk, and it was going to take not as much effort, but just time. And we thought we were charging good, and it was going to work on a monthly subscription basis. But we came to learn really quick that, yeah, maybe you can afford it 1 month, or dealerships can afford it 1 month, but they can't afford to consistently do it. At some point, it just, you got to cut out non-essential things, and we were always that non-essential thing, even though we helped. To us, we were the best thing their business could do, but we weren't portraying that in the best way possible.
Yeah, and I don't think a huge part of that really is when we started becoming more expensive at one point, charging our services monthly. And I think that maybe played a role into people not wanting to stay with us, because we used to have set prices and on certain tiers like bronze, silver, gold, platinum. Yeah, our packages, and then we added diamond in there too. Yeah. But there were some things that happened in between there, or maybe a little after, where we started quoting people based on the size of their dealership, how much they sell.
We started getting into the right pricing model, but it wasn't the right model for our business. I don't think businesses, we were charging it, and we did good for the ones that we could do in those moments in that situation. But it got to a point where dealerships were like, "Hey, I can't keep paying this because times get slow. Tax time, everyone can afford it because
Yeah.
they're selling 30 cars a month, 40 cars a month. Then these slow months hit, and they're selling 3 cars a month, and they're like, I have nowhere to pay you from. Like you got to cut out, and that's part of being a good business owner is knowing when to cut out expenses. But
And I guess, well, you start to think when we need to. Brandon came up with the idea of switching up our business model.
I looked crazy when I wrote that whole whiteboard.
He just I didn't recognize him. And then I remember one time he called me at like 3:30 in the morning, like, "Oh, dude, I've been working on this all night." I'm just like, why am I still up at 3:30 in the morning? Why are you up at 3:30 in the morning? But it ended up being a great idea, and we went through with it. Then I think the next week I started making those phone calls, and
it was a struggle to even change our business. We found the business model, but we didn't have the right partners for it.
Yeah, and luckily we were fortunate enough to find the right partners, and it was like with our old business model. Yeah, we were helping our partners, but it made it seem like it was kind of being a burden for them, having to pay monthly. And then we're like, all right, well, this way, and Brandon, we'll get into specifics here in a little bit, but this way, they don't have to pay us anything.
Yeah. So after, going crazy and we finally secured the contracts, I think it was really, really exciting page for us. We went through our trainings and they cut us loose. We actually partnered with warranty companies.
Yeah.
So we're actually partnered with 2 pretty big warranty companies. We're partnered with Alpha Warranties and we're partnered with GWC. That's our new way in with dealerships. And, we believe that a lot of money can be made on service contracts. We're not the only ones getting paid. The dealership can mark those up to whatever they feel is right. Obviously, you're not going to put a $10,000 warranty, on a 99 Dodge Neon.
Yeah.
But, that helps us be free.
Truck.
It helps us be, I wouldn't say free, but complimentary. Obviously, we need you to produce warranties.
Yeah.
But we take a different approach because this isn't like a business model that everyone has. It's there's a lot of F&I consultants that'll sell you these products that, don't charge you, but they're only there to help you sell warranties. If you don't sell warranties, they're just going to cut you loose. And this is the thing I tell dealerships, we're here to invest in you because we know the first, few months you might not be selling us warranties, but we're here to help you get sales first.
Because you can't sell warranties. You can't sell cars.
You can't sell cars.
If you could sell warranties without cars, we would be knocking into every single business in America.
I think if I could sell a warranty without, on a car, I could just sell warranties, for everything. I'd be selling warranties right now.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Even if you might not buy that extended warranty, I'd make you buy my extended warranty.
You can find a way.
But we got into that model, and I think that's been a huge turning point for us. I think a lot more people listen to us because they don't have to, fork money up front.
Yeah.
And
it's been a relief as far as like, because we have revisited older people that we have like, and when I say older, I just mean like people we saw back in like June and like July and August. So those kind of people that we like walked in on, we go back again and they're like, oh, hey, how are you doing? We explain our new model to them. But it's actually, it feels so nice when we go into a newer place and they're like, okay, so how much do you charge? We're like, we're complimentary. And their eyes just light up. They're like, what? Like, hold up. Something ain't right.
Yeah,
and then,
like, where's the catch? Where's the catch?
Yeah, what's the catch?
Obviously, we want you to be exclusive. And then they're like, well, I don't sell that many warranties a month. That's fine. That's what we have connections for.
Sign up with us. We can help you get to that point.
The bad thing,
and it costs you nothing.
The bad thing I think we're creating though is now that anytime a warranty rep comes in, they're going to think that every warranty rep does what we do.
Yeah,
and that's not true. I mean, we're friends with warranty reps. I had warranty reps all throughout my age. You know, and they'll give you some contacts maybe, but they don't have the connections or the networking connections that we do in this industry. I mean, that's why we're consultants, because we've got the connections to boost you anywhere that you need to.
Yeah,
anywhere that a dealership would need to go.
Yeah, and that's been, and we try to make an emphasis of that. Just like we're not like, I think Brandon touched on this already, but just talking about like we're not like your normal warranty reps. All right, we're gonna make calls for you. We're gonna do deals for you. You call us at what's our hours like on Google? Like 9 to 6.
Oh, we did. It's just hours.
It's just hours we throw on there. You could call us at 10 o'clock at night and we'll do a deal for you. I mean, it's really whenever you need us, we'll be there. But yeah, we offer up our warranties. But we obviously want to, we're not going to like, we're not going to throw everything at you. We're going to show you how to properly sell warranties. And
we'll work as much as people let us to. I think that's the most important thing. Business owners, I know personally has been a business owner in the past, like I don't want people to tell me how to run my business. I just need help learning different aspects, and I'll decide what I want to learn and what I don't, I think that's the nice thing about us. We're not going to push anything on you or force anything on you. We're going to
just give our suggestion. We'll do as much as you let us.
Yeah, we'll do as much as you let us. And I mean, obviously take advantage of us as much as they want.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think right now, I'm going to knock on wood, but they don't take as much advantage as they should. The people who signed up with us, I think. But I mean, that's what we're here for. And like I say, it's things are always going to get worse before they get better. But I think for what we've had so far, I mean, we're coming up on almost a year. So for what we've had so far, all our ups and downs, because we've had some downs, but it's I mean, we're in the right direction. We're loving it, and we're gonna keep going, keep growing, and I'm not totally shocked, but I'm glad we're in this position right here, considering where we were almost a year ago.
Yeah. I mean, where we were a year ago, I would never imagine us sitting even here right now, and being able to have the opportunity to provide knowledge to everyone. I know we haven't gone in depth, and everything we, do and everything. And we're just talking about TC Consulting, how it started. We're just kind of giving a brief overview. This episode just kind of for you guys to get to know us, kind of get to know why we started the company. And I think, if I summarized everything that just happened, is we started this because we want to make people's lives easier, because when I was an owner of a dealership, no one made my life easier. I would have sleepless, stressless nights that could have been relieved by some person walking in my dealership and just giving me advice, the right advice. And I think that's why we're doing this, because you think that no one's here to help you, but really that's what we're here for. That's why we're complimentary now. Obviously there's got to be a catch. It's not a big catch. I mean, you're already selling warranties. Just why not sell ours?
Yeah.
Get the benefits.
The catch takes 10 to 15 minutes to finish up.
Yeah, the catch takes 10 to 15 minutes to get you signed up and ready to go. So, I mean, you could call us right now, and 10, 15 minutes, you're ready to go with us. Like that's the beauty of it too. Before we had to get all these legal contracts and get this ready, set up the model.
I can't tell you how many times I don't remember the website we used.
Law Depot.
They kept, for some reason it's set up. I mean, I didn't really care, because they'd get a free trial every time. You just take a card out and then put it back on. So I can't tell you how many times Brandon's like, "Hey, I need your card real quick."
They're going to see this and expose and just like fix that issue now.
All right, well, it's too bad we don't use Law Depot anymore. So if you do use Law Depot and you were doing that, I'm sorry. And what are you going to do?
Yeah. But I think that it's been a journey, definitely.
No, it has.
We've had people in our company and realized that we only need 2 of us to make it.
Yeah.
It was some tough conversations.
It was tough, but it was beneficial to have them, because some of the people who either we interviewed or hired on, we learned from them, and I think that was really beneficial, and they helped us,
I think that's what makes us good consultants, that we, retain our knowledge, like anything that we see, we're going to try to figure out.
And we're not
going to keep and use this to the best of our benefit.
Yeah. And we're not like telling people we know everything. Like
we're just well connected. I mean, if I don't have the answer, I'm going to find someone who has the answer.
Look at both of us right now. Do we look like we know everything? No. But we do know people who might know this thing, and then this person might know this thing, and this person might know this thing. And
we just save you the effort. I feel like what we do is save people the time and effort of having to do it themselves.
Yeah.
And I mean, my biggest question would be is, how valuable is people's time? Do you value your time?
Yeah.
I value my time. I don't want to sit on a hold call for 2-3 hours when I could have someone else do it, or someone that has a connection that can who could do it, who could do it in 20 minutes
Yeah. So
or has been through it.
yeah. So it's it's been a fun experience, and kind of just like we've caught ourselves, especially in this past like month. I've just like looked over at Brandon, whether we're driving or at our office, and I'm just like, dude, why didn't we think of this right away? Like, but that's part of being
That's part of being a business
that's
failure.
being a
I think
business
I think
entrepreneurs. You
the
gotta
you gotta fail.
you gotta fail. You gotta solve your own problems, and that's
You don't succeed overnight, and you definitely don't succeed
yeah.
right off the bat.
And I say like when I say solve your own problems, I mean like when we have problems, I tell Brandon about it, and because
I think that's the biggest thing we've seen with some dealerships. We'll walk into dealerships and communication.
yeah, I think it's kind of crazy. Like I joke about Brandon all the time about him not answering my phone whenever I like want to call him for my convenience, but I feel like our communication has been like top notch with like the business, and even when we've had to have difficult, transparent conversations, we've always been understanding, and you know, whether that's we're on a tight budget or we need to do this and do that, we need to schedule this. It's been a big part of that is just a big part of that is just we're always on, maybe not always, most of the time we're on the same page. And if we're not on the same page, we find common ground.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest, like, I don't know what word I'm trying to use, but I think the biggest reason a lot of business fail, with partners is
Yeah.
because you can't find common ground.
Yeah.
I've dealt with it in the past. I've seen it hands on, with other partners and stuff like that.
And
If you don't,
we keep it light too.
huh?
We keep it light. Like
Yeah.
we you can't be serious all the time. People who know us know we're not really that serious, and they're probably
This is probably the most serious you're ever going to see it.
yeah, they're probably shocked watching this right now. Like, I can't believe they haven't made an inappropriate joke or like that's literally us at the office. We have to keep things light, and I mean, golly, there's no way we would survive if we couldn't laugh at ourselves or
I think we've made some mistakes. But I mean,
Oh, absolutely. But
dumb mistakes.
but we always yeah yeah. But we always say, I'm like, dude, we're gonna laugh about this in like a year, probably next week.
We're still not laughing about it.
No, depends what we're talking about. But yeah, I mean, that's I know that's a lot of information, but that's how we got here, and it's been great, and I think we've set ourselves up for, I mean, success really going forward, and it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to it, and I think that's what's been keeping me. I don't know about you. That's what's been keeping me really, in a good headspace. Is kind of just like it's kind of sad. We see people our age kind of give up on, whether they want to be a business owner or they're in one career field, and they're just like, I just can't do it anymore. I'm so stressed. So I think like the biggest thing with like us and like me personally, I can't speak for Brandon, but is that we have something to look forward to, and that's really what's been keeping me going. Is I always have something to look forward to.
You got to find your motivation. Motivation's not always
Yeah,
just there.
having a why you do it is the
Yeah.
biggest thing, and I think having something to look forward to is, in my opinion, one of three things that you need every day, and that's what's been keeping me
What are
going.
the other two?
It's something to look forward to, something to look up to, and something to chase.
What about something to look down to?
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm doing, but you can do that.
Yeah, I mean, really, we wanted to get on here and explain why we did it. A lot of businesses tell you what, and most people think it's to turn a profit. If we make a profit doing it, great. That's business.
Yeah,
But really, we're here to offer something to people that I didn't have, and I wish I would have had. And I tell it from experience. I wish I would have had it when I was a sales rep. I wish I would have had it when I was a finance manager. I wish I would have had it when I was a business owner, a dealership owner. I mean, no one tells you how. And I can get on YouTube and search up a tutorial, but it's not hands-on. It's not personal. They're talking to 5 million people. They're not talking to me.
yeah,
That's the nice thing about us. We're only a phone call away, and we'll talk to you, and we'll go and meet you. And if I don't care if you're in Alaska, we'll come and see you. just make it worth our time.
Take us on a bear expedition.
Ice fishing.
Give us some salmon.
Really?
Yeah. Just don't go there when it's like, sun 24/7.
I can sleep.
Be like that movie Insomnia with Al Pacino.
So pretty much to summarize, we're TZ Consulting. We started up about a year ago. We're complimentary. As long as you sign up with one of our, providers, and we can help you in any aspect of your business. We've got great partners in any aspect, whether it's appraisals. And the biggest thing about our partnerships is we're consultants. So we know how expensive some of these vendors can be. So we partner with vendors that we believe are fair for the industry, that are charging the right prices, and give you the best tools for your business.
Yep.
We're going to help you every step of the way. And if we need to hold your hand, that's what we're here for. We're going to make mistakes, but we're going to find the right people to help correct those mistakes, help you correct your mistakes. We're here to help you. And I mean, there's not much more to it. I mean, we're here to help you and your family be where you guys want to be at. And obviously we're going to have fun doing it, and we're going to help you. We're going to be serious. It's just, I mean, the possibilities are endless on what we can help you achieve. And with our knowledge and partners, we can get you to wherever you want to be.
Yeah. And when he says endless, he doesn't mean we're going to show up to your dealership in the wintertime and snow shovel your lot. So that's not a part of our services. I'm just going to make that clear. But yeah, everything else. Yeah, that sounds good. Well, hey, you know what? If you lasted this long and listened to our whole story, we really appreciate you. So if you want, my name is Caleb Treadway. This is Brandon Zimbron. You could visit our website at www.consultingtz.com. And
don't forget to follow us on our socials. We'll put them in here. That way you guys can have it. And we really want to thank again Vision Studio for making this possible. Don't forget that you guys can also reach out to them, whether it's through us or through them directly through their website. And so that you guys can create content like this too. These guys do amazing stuff that you're not going to find anywhere.
Yeah. And I mean, if you can make us look professional like this, you're close to a miracle worker. So thank you, Vision Studios.
Thank you.